grades of dragon blood. So because there are different types of dragons, there are different types of dragon's blood. Your low grade stuff, which is from creatures like pseudo dragons and fairy dragons, and potentially even dragonborn. There's your medium grade stuff from creatures like wyverns and that kind of creature that's not quite a true dragon, but is kind of getting there. And then there's your high grade stuff, which is from actual true dragons, like gold, copper, black, blue. And what he is asking is probably, given the difficulty of acquiring high grade, as in true dragon's blood, it's a relatively fair deal. It's a little bit pricey, but it's not entirely unexpected.
Okay. I say
whether he is actually offering you the real stuff, you don't know.
right. I'll say that's within the realm of possibility. If I can prove that it's the real thing. You don't oppose to a test by a third party? No chemical inspection.
Trouble is, this kind of stuff is by order. We kind of need to make a special trip, and special trips have expenses. We could do half up front, half later.
Is Franker gonna pay me back? With the 10, do I know he's shasty.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if he's lying to me. I don't like wholeheartedly just believe him though. It's not like a crit fail.
No, you just don't know. It's much in the same way as if you were to investigate somewhere. It's not that there isn't something there, you just don't know whether there is or not. If there is something, you haven't found it. And if he is lying about something, you don't know what it is. Although given his, profession, you'd be surprised if he wasn't withholding some information.
Billy's making this face, her jaw's all the way forward. She can't. She's looking at him, eyes furrowed. I don't think she would do it.
All right.
I think she would say, I have to take that under consideration.
Well,
I'll place my order.
Quick whack, because business is happening, and I need to get to it.
Of course. For your time, and I'll pass a gold coin across the table. I'll stand up and walk away.
I remember your face, stranger.
I like raise my hand, but I don't say anything. I walk away.
Right. And yeah.
Okay, I come back. I tell people he's shiesty. It was the right price, but there's no way we would know, and we could be losing 500 gold.
And
More
also that
importantly, do you think Alendril could last a week?
Week
Ma-
is our hard bound. Yeah. I guess we gotta go get a boat.
This is gonna be some fun diplomacy. Yeah. Fucking waving around names and such.
I mean, it's like a day's travel from here to Voldesh, right? Like, it's not like a 3-day travel or something crazy.
no, it's not. It's like on like any decent any decent merchant ship, you could get there in a day. Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can, in fact, you should have under your plan notes travel is the ocean travel speed document, which
Oh.
gives you miles per day. So on average, it's about 100. So
Okay, so we need a sailing ship.
yeah, like if you had a ship that sailed overnight, which most ships do, if you have the crew for it, you could get there and back in about 24 hours.
Okay.
But
Cool.
that yeah, it's about a 12-hour trip.
Okay. Well, we would. I guess we should start looking for berth on a merchant sailing ship.
Yeah, and there are plenty of merchant ships that go around, especially on the eastern side of Jarlathur, with the various trading companies that are Farron, mainly between Varanmore and Lunshai, the two main ports. And there is the occasional boat that goes over to Valdesh, although, of course, as I believe I've mentioned several times, that requires not only special permits, but, you know, there's a lot of paperwork to be done. And so,
And we'll have a day at sea to do it.
yes. But yeah, you can head down to the docks. Can I ask what kind of deal are you looking for? Are you looking to legitimately purchase passage on a ship to Valdesh? Are you looking to stow away? Are you looking to what's the plan? And and after that, what kind of size ship are you looking for? Are you looking for one where, you know, it's a huge merchant ship? There's going to be maybe even 100, like 30 other people on the ship, or are you looking for one where you guys aren't quite as you guys are a larger proportion of the people on it?
Probably one that we're not going to be noticed on them, really.
Probably a larger ship with more people on it then.
Yeah.
There might be more people to notice you, but there's also more people to hide among.
The worry with that, at least for me, is that we won't be able to leave very quickly. If we're waiting on some ship to depart, that's bad.
That's true.
Regardless of if the city is like super locked down,
So
ships
with
probably can still leave at any time they want.
yeah, no, they can leave at any time they want. It's just coming in.
Right. So if we need to escape in the dead of night, I would rather. My pitch would be trying to rent a ship with a crew, which would be more expensive, but
That would be considerably more expensive, and if you don't want to get shot down, then you would need to either apply for a permit.
Well, we'd need to
yeah.
hire a ship that has a permit, and then we can just be secret on it.
Okay, so basically you're looking for someone who has a small ship, already has a permit.
That's just my pitch, Josh. Like yeah.
I'm just repeating back to you so I'm understanding.
Yeah.
So the idea that you have is small ship that you personally hire that already has a permit, and that you guys don't necessarily stow away in, but are not notably present.
We all put on like dock worker clothing and stay below and wrap rope whenever we get boarded.
Mhm. Okay.
Depends on
Or
the price.
hiding in a cruise liner is probably the safest idea, which was your pitch.
They're not necessarily cruise liners. What
It's
the
an exaggeration.
yeah, I know.
Ferries.
To give
Sure.
you an idea of the kind of ships, it's not necessarily that there are ferries that whose express purpose is to bring people. It's almost always merchant ships who have installed like a couple of extra cabins to earn an extra buck for people who want to travel. And or like landing and docking in Valdesh, they're not, oh, you have a permit, you can just come and go as you please. It's, you have this one job, this one trade you're coming in to make. You're here for this many days, and then after that you leave. And if you're there outside that period of time, or on a different ship, then you get shot.
Sheesh.
Yeah, if anyone wants to make a history check, they can. But yeah, it's no secret that Nokra's first interaction with other nations was the Voonsledi Viking giant raiders coming to murder them, and they have definitely responded in kind with their culture.
Oh, by the way, have we had a chance to do a long rest since we
Yes.
gathered this? Okay, I forgot about that. Sorry.
I think if we go casual, that way we don't have to pay a lot of expenses getting there. I'm sure there's a number of people who'd be hush-hush if someone not thinking too much about it and just throwing a whole shitload of money in their face and be like, yo, get this to shore anywhere there, away from here.
I could also transform into a rat and stow away in somebody's gear.
But that only lasts for a short amount of time.
Yeah, and then afterwards I could hide in a cargo hold.
Unless you can turn us all.
I cannot turn you all. It's just a one-person thing.
I can also disguise myself, and only myself. I've seen it before.
You could potentially see if you could get someone to forge you papers. You could maybe steal someone else's legitimate papers and, change the names with a big red crayon. Or
Hell yeah. Some papers, please, shit.
No papers. Check them out the window. Oh, sorry. That scene is I always sticks in my head, checking Nazis out the window.
Jones. Well, guess on the pricey side, but then again, if we keep shopping around, somebody's gonna take notice and we're more attraction than wanting.
to clarify, Vrinker has explicitly told you that this is almost definitely a trap. Like Vrinker's theory is that the either the Black Fang or another order within Nokra has deliberately poisoned Alendril with this, you know, draconic disease that can only be cured by dragon's blood, so that you guys would essentially have to show yourselves and take a risk so that they could take advantage of that and get something from you. You're not sure what that would be, whether it would be information on Vrinker, information on Alendril, or, but yeah, this is a deliberate action by some Nokran party, just to refresh you.
Well, how much money are we working with anyway?
I mean, Franker, you got us, right?
My supplies are not unlimited. I have a little. What do you need?
I'm trying to get passage. How much you can donate to the fund is, well, it'll help. I've been saving for some magical armor, but I have a bit of a considerable amount of money. If I totaled everything up, it's right around 3,000 gold.
I have perhaps around about 1,000 that I could contribute myself. I don't carry a great deal of coin. I
So
could
the bars.
service in other ways. I am familiar with the bureaucracy, and if you were to obtain some papers, legitimate or otherwise, I could ensure that they would be recognized as legitimate by most authorities.
It seems honestly the best route right now. Well, you don't really. I don't.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Northern's right.
Oh, somebody pinch me, I'm not dreaming, right?
Shao takes it literally and reaches over with his long arm and pinches mouth on his cheek.
No, like this, and I clobber him in the back of the head.
Oh, what the
Oh, are we beating up Malthon?
Oh gosh!
Yes, yes. I gesture broadly,
No, wait, no.
stepping out of the way.
Brinker's just rubbing his face and sighing.
Look, we're stressed. We're bleeding it off.
I'm not bleeding. Well, I mean, the punch in the face and the pinch, thank you. I mean, I've taken this day to my grave.
You said 8 different things all at once.
Yeah.
You are a curious dwarf. It's very difficult to understand you sometimes, but I am challenging myself and I will continue to try.
Look, if you can tell me where you are planning to obtain the blood from, I can try and forge you some documents that you are delivering supplies to that location that would be appropriate. That will at least get you in the door. You can be simple traders, just starting out. And you can have we can purchase some small amount of supplies, whether they be magical incense for the church or arcane components. And you can deliver them. And with such a small supply and with with such a small trade, it's quite possible that they will simply believe that the paperwork slipped through the cracks on the other side. And if you have the product, then they will be more likely to believe you. But that depends on where you intend to gather the blood.
Maybe the dragon will be greedy, you know? Keep us out of the Knockering's hands, and especially for... Listen, I'm not trying to be mean. I've purchased things from you better, fair and square, but, I don't need you.
Alright, yeah. Church, I look at Yoko. You'd be the one talking to the dragon if we were gonna negotiate.
Like a real dragon?
It would likely be a young black dragon, I believe.
Huh.
If you were to that, I would highly suggest that you find a way to make sure that that dragon is not with any of its attendants.
I think we can handle a little bit of run distraction on that.
They are doted on and given every need, and as such can be naive in their younger years. But the attendants will really see through any ploy or attempt you make to obtain its blood without the proper permissions. So if you were to parley with it, I would advise doing so without the presence of any attendants or priests.
So, would that be a diplomatic thing, or are you telling us to murder these poor folk?
That is up to you, but I would caution you against killing anyone of note.
I mean, I'm all for not killing anybody, but I mean, every time we go out to do shit, we end up shooting something and stabbing something to death, or destroying something that's already dead. So
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Oh, I mean, if it's already dead situation, that's not too bad.
yeah, I mean, if it's already, but usually that involves me getting killed again, which fucking sucks.
I just stand back
Part of
with
that.
you. It's great. Watch Billy tear ass up there.
The reason why I warn you against killing anyone of note is that important individuals in Nokra rarely stay dead. And they hold grudges.
Kill someone, take their body with you.
If you can, or destroy it beyond repair.
I make my hand crashes into my hand, and I say, "Stomp heads."
Gotta pull out an alchemist fire like.
I think do I have any of that? Hold on.
Yeah, I have some alchemist fire. I mean, we could always just sever the head and throw it into a pit, and then throw an alchemist fire in there to make sure it's completely destroyed, right?
Even a skull can be used to siphon the soul from beyond.
Well, no, you smash the skull and then completely incinerate it.
Of course, if we get close enough to the ocean with the body, we could just chuck it in there.
This is getting rather dark. Can we I guess explore like diplomatic options?
I mean, that's why we're going through this motion. Hopefully we don't have to go to that and we can, run distraction while Yoko is able to, get a little blood vial.
Yeah, Miss Yoko, do you have any ideas about this? Because I defer to you since I think you were probably the most diplomatic out of all of us.
I'm stuck on the part where I ask the dragon for blood and it gives it to me. Why would it do that?
I have money.
You would offer
probably
it
have to-
something in return.
Okay. Money do?
Potentially, you would need a fair bit of it. Riches
Apparently it's
are
worth.
one way. Sorry, I didn't catch what you said there.
Apparently it's within our price range, according to that black market.
I would caution against trusting that and using it as a measure. They probably obtain the blood through less legitimate means.
Oh, I'm
Than
sure they do.
stealing or murder?
Mhm.
Less
Then
than-
parlaying with the dragon and asking it.
I mean, could we still rob the priest if the dragon says no? Will we have time?
You could try. That would depend on whether the dragon informs its attendants of your presence or not.
Can I just say, I never got into this shit before I met all of you. I'm not upset. I'm just saying.
I
Same.
mean,
That point
To be
back at
fair, you didn't meet us. It was the commission that you took from Mr. Alendril. So it's honestly Mr. Alendril's say that brought us into this.
It's true. We are doing this because of him.
Yes, we're doing this commission for saving our benefactor. So
I cannot
We're-
deny. I'm slipping into the fucking Southern Baptist accent because I'm thinking about it.
You wish to let him die. It would not
I do
be-
not.
Who said that?
I was just deflecting from being blamed. I'm sorry. Apologies. It's a habit of being a subservient to some very rueful people.
Well, thankfully, finally your own.
Would it be easier to let him die and then revive him?
Well,
Apparently it is so easy within Nokra.
It's complicated. You'd not be able to just ask politely. It's something reserved for only the most important of political figures and warriors.
Okay.
And even with that, there is a high likelihood that he would be brought back less alive.
I can see how that would be a problem.
There are complications with these things.
Well, going through the motions of it.
I could certainly attempt it, but it would be unlikely. Not only would you need to find someone who would cooperate, you would need to find the necessary materials, the necessary incantations, and also you would need a lot of luck.
Yeah. Really go bad. Oh, I'm not the greatest face, but I would assume that the rest of you won't have to fucking deal with them, so... Try discussing matters with them, but only on the basis of that Alendril will be saved. If things come worse to worse, while the rest of you get the fuck out of Nokra.
If it comes to it, I imagine they want either myself or both.
Hopefully we don't have to cross that bridge when we get there. Besides, I doubt very much that there would be anything for me other than maybe my beard.
Your heart, maybe.
Bless you.
Sorry.
See, yeah. Going after me hard.
But you do have a very a heart of gold, despite being a swarthy dwarf who's from a very shitty place. I hate your place. It sucks.
Oh, don't worry. We'll go back there in the summertime. Bless you again.
Shao looks at him with a very suspicious glare.
Now we wanna go. He's a proper dwarven hell again. So,
Isn't tight?
thank you. Following along line that, so I guess try the dragon, slip in a little quietly. Things go alright. Hopefully they don't be able to slip back out with the vials that we are like shoveling gold into this little shit's hand for some, precious liquid.
You may potentially be able to find something else valuable, or something that you could convince it is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
That is a decision you would need to make.
What's a black dragon's favorite thing? Sounds like a dumb joke.
I mean,
I don't have an acid bog handy.
they quite enjoy killing folk.
I mean, isn't gaining and hoarding wealth also just their primary thing because they like to sleep on it?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
also like to gain and hoard my wealth. So if we could find something else.
Yeah, but I don't think you like to actually create a bed and sleep on it.
That's because we don't share a room.
Wait, he's looking at her.
So you don't
He's
have
looking
to
at her.
answer that.
He's looking at her suspiciously now. Does he believe her? Does he believe the lie? Like I believe she's lying, but I don't think Shao knows. So that's insight check to see if she's lying.
I don't have to roll deception because I'm not lying. Believe me, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Billy could totally Scrooge McDuck it.
Yeah, and when I do it, I actually dive into the coins. They act as a liquid rather than a large solid.
Of course.
Yeah. Another thing that could potentially be of interest to a black dragon would be the head of an enemy. But that would depend on, who that enemy is and whether you could slay them.
I mean, shit goes wrong. We kill a dragon. I take its head. Mount it on the ship for our escape.
How many trophies do you have, Mr. Billy?
A few. I've sold a couple of them. Most
That's
of the big
alright.
stuff.
It's never.
How many have you collected in your time? Would you say?
One for every worthy kill. Wanted a piece of that shark. It got away from me.
I feel like that thing's gonna make a comeback.
No, the big shark. I don't care. I
Shout.
don't care about the little shark. Its only claim to fame is that it found an orc at the bottom of the ocean.
Shao kind of winces as he thinks back to the shark, and then he reaches into his belt pouch and pulls out a big ass tooth. He's like, "I pulled this out of my hip. Here, you may have it, since you helped triumph over it."
It's a bit of a question. Be one hell of a march.
Depending on how brazen you are feeling, you could surrender one or more of yourselves for questioning. It's likely that you'd be taken to a place of security where they would quite possibly keep some of the blood.
As for the whole ocean thing, the lanterns, those are a special kind of incense or like oil, right?
Especially enchanted lanterns that require holy oil.
Should we procure like one or two of those just for safety's sake?
Think so? Bad idea.
I've got plenty of storage capacity, and I carry a lot still. So.
Bad idea. And see, but
Yeah, carry some of that holy oil so we could use our weapons.
well, more or less, worst comes to worst. Even if it is like you guys are able to safely get back to the ship with no, you know. I'm just thinking it's the case playing. Because if I have to hoof it across the ocean, I do have a ring water walking. I'm used to having to march far distances, but that's the biggest faulting issue of all time. Hopefully.
Also, that may well be done with, running on a moving surface.
Right.
I mean, with this mariner's armor and my ability to swim, I would be just as fine with you going back with everybody. And I mean, I would travel back by swimming across the water. I can swim through the water with so much ease. It's not even a trouble. And I can sleep.
It's not the swimming part that I'm worried about. Staying on the surface away from the grabby hands.
Oh, I can. That wouldn't be a problem.
What is that then? So then we got two people who can make a good escape route.
Mm-hmm. And we can support each other.
I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah, technically you could actually hop on my back, hold the lantern above us.
Well, alright then. Just out of curious sake, well,
So we do have
made up.
We do have a backup. We do have a backup plan, Maltharn. It's unorthodox, but it would work. And I trust you enough that you won't, stab me in the back of the head. Like that proverb about the what was it? The scorpion and the frog.
I was thinking of the cookie and the fox, but
Oh,
that one.
yeah,
works too.
that's what I think. Well, I think it's just different cultures. I think it's the same proverb, but yes, yours sounds more interesting.
More or less like drowning in the bath of beer. It's fun, but
Yeah, I can get behind that one. That sounds more interesting.
Right then, I guess agreement for papers and trying to go over as like traders.
I can arrange that.
Really, Yoko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, let's see. Well, I guess I'll go to the edge of town here and try something. I doubt I'll be able to get anything on the curiosity range. Oh, hey, I'll be back.
Would you like some backup out there?
It's mostly just a kind of like a quick perimeter check kind of situation. Nothing too serious. Not gonna go gallivanting with some of the black market or anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the edge of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And focusing on the lands itself, and especially all the places around here, just out of sheer curiosity, because Black Market said they had dragon's blood. Wonder if this will pick up something, so I will use one of my second level slots. Or actually, yeah, primeval awareness. And see if there's any dragons within 6 miles of the city.
Alrighty. I'm gonna say yeah.
Oh, sure.
Alrighty. Double check on the specifics. Alright, so I know it's somewhere within 6 miles. Don't know the exact location. That is a rich. I'll go back to the group. So there is a possible prospect near Thronport. Large range, but maybe we'd be able to pick up some information real quick and see if maybe saw something on the roads coming here from maybe Dandraku. Maybe even the other further ranges south. Don't know how you feel about hunting a dragon.
Real bad, probably.
I mean, I don't know if, like, it's good or bad dragon yet. Shall we dig around while, it's the papers ready, just in case?
I would. because perhaps this one isn't surrounded with an entourage of dragonborn that are ready to murder us.
Yeah. We can certainly try.
So, I guess I'm gonna go ask around then. I don't know what the rest of you would wish to do with that.
What direction did you detect the dragon?
Somewhere in the range of maybe 6 miles.
Oh, you just know there's a dragon within 6 miles. You don't have a heading.
No,
That's such
exactly.
a big area.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a possible prospect. Very likely asked people who traveled around might have seen something.
If it was of any considerable size, you're pretty sure someone would have already mentioned it. So it's either a small one, or it's not necessarily what you're looking for. So it's a maybe, but like you're not going to find like an adult dragon just kind of hanging out within 6 miles of the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people would know about that.
Yeah. Unless they're like stupid stealthy somehow.
Or old as fuck. But yeah, I talked to some traders, see if they saw anything out on the road, or maybe, well, even local farmers. See if they seen
Yeah.
anything flying around big.
Yeah, Shao-Chan is like, I will help you because finding creatures is kind of my forte.
It's up to it then.
Indeed, because navigating bureaucracy is definitely not in my wheelhouse. But navigating the wilderness and following leads about animal creature lore is definitely, yes, in my.
Is there a place in Dranport I can go and research dragon habits? A library of some kind?
Yeah, there's probably a couple of, there's definitely a few nobles who have their own personal book collections, but you could probably find a library.
Yeah, okay. We'll find a library, and I'd like to look up where young dragons like to hide. Specifically.
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check.
Underneath their bed, somewhere where they're safe, a stuffed animal pile.
It's probably just like cave on a high mountain or behind a waterfall. Something like that.
Yeah. So typically, assuming you're meaning young true dragons,
Yeah.
typically they are, if they're not being attended to by a great many servants and potentially also their parent,
True.
then they are likely very far from civilization and will almost certainly
Sorry.
avoided any interaction with humanoids, mainly because pretty much every part of a dragon's body is valuable, and the only way you get a part of a dragon's body is by removing it from the dragon, which kills it. So a young dragon, the young and the young, sick and lame of any species is always a prime target. And a young dragon is certainly an opportunity that most able-bodied mercenaries would not miss. So you'd be unlikely to hear about it and have it not already been killed by someone
Yeah.
Unless it was especially elusive, or someone had managed to secret it away since it had been seen. Like essentially, if it had been spotted and it was easy to find, it would probably already be dead.
Okay.
So it would need to be in an isolated area. It would need to probably have some reason why it is not currently being cared for by either its parents or some sort of cult. And it would also need to be able to survive in the environment that it's in. So depending on which kind of dragon you're thinking of looking for, it would vary greatly where they could potentially be. But all answers point to not civilization.
Yeah. What I'm getting from this is we need to search, like, on the outer edge of the 6 miles, and not near the actual town.
You would be very surprised if there was a young dragon within 6 miles.
Right. Well,
A young
already
true dragon.
ran off, so I'm gonna go find them. However long that takes, and tell them that we're probably not going to find it by asking around, because that's kind
So-
of big news.
Yeah, either somehow someone has managed to secret away like a dragon's egg, or is like polymorphed it into a fucking rock or something. Or it's a different type of dragon, like a pseudo dragon, which could be a wizard's familiar, or a wyvern that's leering in some of the nearby hills or mountains. Or like a swamp drake or something. Like it's much more likely to be a non-true dragon.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Sorry to blue ball you like that.
No, it's fair. To Voldish then.
So it was a dead end. Oh well.
It's worth a shot.
Probably.
It was worth a shot. Now we're definitely consigned to by fucking with a very angry dragonborn.
So you could try and find, hunt, and kill, or siphon blood from a dragon somewhere else, but that may take more time than you have.
We don't have that. We don't have that luxury.
Yeah, because dragons are fairly rare, or at least fairly rarely spotted outside of the Nocturne Isles. Because if you're a dragon and you can go somewhere, they'll worship you and give you pretty much anything you want. Why wouldn't you?
Sensible.
Yeah. So yeah, the only dragons that you may potentially find out in the world would be most likely metallic, and extremely reclusive.
Righty. So just make sure to get the preparations and probably a little lantern on. We can get it here.
Yeah, holy oil can be obtained from pretty much any church, but if you want it in large amounts, that's going to cost a little bit, and they may not have it. Given that you are in Dranport, which is close to Voltish, you probably pick up some ghost fire lanterns and holy oil from a trader down at the docks. Given that it wouldn't take you straying too far off the beaten track to bump into some ghost bullshit.
I love ghost bullshit. Try to drain the soul straight at your ass. But I'll go check the prices on that. In case things sees.
Yeah. So you're looking for how many lanterns?
Currently just one. Reckon.
All right.
The one.
Yeah,
Me.
and I guess focusing on having plenty of oil.
All right. So ghost fire lanterns. They are. You could probably get one for potentially 50 to 100 gold. And holy oil is essentially a variant of holy water, which I believe is either 25 or 50. I'd have to look it up.
I believe holy water is usually 50.
25.
25. Oh, cheap.
And lantern burns for 4 hours on 1 flask of holy oil. So a base price of 50 to 100, depending on how persuasive you're feeling. And then an additional 25 per 4 hours of oil.
I'll be able to lantern and one extra. Vibe.
The lantern doesn't come with oil, so you have to buy the oil separately.
Lantern with 1 hour of oil.
I mean, you could buy it at the same place, probably, but I mean, like, it's not like you buy the lantern and it's full of oil already.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just give away something that's 50% of the price of the thing that it's in.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, able to get like 1 hour's worth. I'm not sure how much you want, Shog. Judging by the trek, we might be able to get some land space first, not have to dive right in the ocean.
I would like to have at least a few more hours worth, if we can, whatever, as much as we can get, basically.
So, it's going to be minimum 50 gold for a Ghost Fire Lantern, and minimum 25 for each flask of holy oil, which is effectively 4 hours of that lantern burning. So that's, yeah, it could be considerably more than that, depending on who you buy it from, how much you buy, how good a bartering you're feeling.
Could I make a survival check to see how distant the main isle that Voldesh is on is from Dranport's Isle? Like,
You actually have, you could, I believe you guys have maps and shit. Like, you could measure that. It's accurate.
alright,
So, I mean, the main isle, it's only about 30 miles, but if you're wanting to go along the trade route, then
alright. It's definitely doable in a day. But even if we had like enough for 24 hours to get us at least closer to the shore.
yeah, you can go about 25 in a day walking comfortably, and you could at 30. The 20 will be about 8 hours or so. That's assuming that the sea doesn't give you any trouble. That's like imagining if it were just completely flat land the whole way.
Alright. Just the safeties. So... We get like another flasks. It would probably give us enough of a gap to get march through.
We're going to walk across.
This is just the emergency kind of backup. Like if things get really fucky.
Yeah, basically, if we have to part ways to help split up any pursuers, the dwarf and I are planning on jumping ship with one of the lanterns with some oil, so that we can make them chase us, so that you have less pursuers on your tail.
Okay.
Full on distraction.
Yep.
That would be 120 gold. Spot that shark, I'd be more than happy to pay you back. Just yeah, emergency plan. Back pocket.
So how much oil were we able to acquire? I'm sorry.
You can acquire a fair bit. It depends on how much you want to pay. So it will be at least 50 gold for the lantern base price,
Got that.
and then the base price for the oil is 25.
Okay. Shao would he has currently 31 gold pieces and 29 platinum pieces. So that's what, 200 gold, 290 gold.
290.
So he would probably buy 4, so 100 gold worth of oil, so 4 vials of oil. So 10 platinum of oil for the lanterns. So we have plenty of backup oil.
All right. So that is 24 hours, I believe. No, 16 hours.
I bought 1. You bought 4.
Assuming you don't lose or smash any.
Yeah, that would be 20 hours.
Yeah. They are in like clay flasks.
I'll stick them in my bag of holding.
All right.
Safe to say.
We're getting the oil and stuff packaged up. Hey, I forgot. After all we got fucked up, I immediately stowed that Leviathan meat that we had harvested. We should crack into that and make something tasty before we head out. You know, just for luck.
Oh, I'm all for that. Surviving something that tried to eat us, eat it in return.
Yeah. We also have some stomach acid that somebody could possibly use, and also that.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
And also, bang.
Really my skull's wrong, so I just get a harvesting. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in using the meat to make some meals.
You disappeared for a bit there.
Who, me?
Yes.
He was
You
saying
fully disconnected.
he was reviewing the Leviathan materials that we had harvested. The big thing that he was interested in was using the meat to make some snacks or a meal for people. But he realized it wasn't that much meat; it's just like 1 unit of it. And then we also had like stomach acid and the blubber, which I think we were going to give that to Alendril. I can't remember. But yeah, he was planning on using whatever he could to cook some food before we head out.
Alright. Let's on.
Actually, it looks like this Leviathan meat is 25 pounds. It's a good chunk of meat.
Got you a tuna cut there.
Yeah, it's enough for everybody to have a good chunk.
Coughing a lot.
Live? That's it then.
Alright. How long's Franker gonna take with the papers?
He can probably do that pretty quickly, within a matter of hours. In fact, he probably has them nearly done by the time you get back from buying the oil and lantern.
Oh, speaking of which, I'd like to do some more parchment and ink
Okay.
shopping. Just-
Yeah, if you're just looking for supplies, you can just buy them at base rate.
Yep,
For the-
that's fine. Get another 200 gold worth. Okay, that's all.
Alrighty. So what's the plan? Sorry, to clarify, Franker is able to produce the papers. They are 99% complete. He just needs to know what you guys are planning on trading and who you want to be trading it to.
Well, we can always say alchemy supplies.
I've got a 3-pound Ethereum crystal. That's pretty valuable.
Yeah, you could certainly sell that for a higher price.
Or pretend to.
It would definitely bring you a fair bit of attention. If you,
Yeah, that's true.
but it would also bring a fair bit of people being like, "Oh wow, okay, yeah, you're serious. Let's bring you in." Like they would question you less, but they would also notice you more.
Okay, yeah. What do you all think about that?
I think this in there. I think I could. Some of my patent ideas are pieces of equipment that have been on and in all the other people as we travel. Gesture to the bear trap gauntlet.
So we're trading multiple kinds of things.
Yeah, you know. Multiple traders coming over, different ideas.
Can we do that?
I need a list, an inventory of what you intend to trade, and then I can assign an appropriate entity that would trade for that.
Oh, okay.
And provided they are large and bureaucratic enough, they will simply assume that they lost the paperwork on their end.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Provided that you do attempt to make the trade.
Well, definitely put in the listings bottle.
May well be useful. If you're looking to gain entry to either a church or the Dragon's Sanctum, you would likely need specific items, arcane ingredients, or objects would certainly be of significant note.
Couldn't we take some of that from Alendril stores?
He's running a little low. What would you be looking for?
I don't know, just something to help us with the ruse. This is to save his life, isn't it? It's not like we're trying to sell it. We just need to help with the covered story.
Is there a couple of 100 gold of scribing materials?
Yeah, it's like it's not to say we're not trying to steal from him. We just want to save his life. So if he can, if there's something you can recommend that would help us with this, I'm all ears because this once again, as I've told Mr. Balthar, this is not my purview.
A couple of 100 gold of scribing materials. Perhaps some ingredients that bestow healing, as those are particularly hard to come by in the Isles. They are a slightly cursed place, so they don't grow there naturally.
Interesting.
Thunder bottle, smaller thunder bottle with splash that I have, and the much more rare death cap that I like. You fancies?
I know black dragons are all about poison. I do have that very powerful poison that I made.
Incorrect. Acid, actually. Green is poison.
Same fucking difference.
It's of significant note.
Duh, I fucking hate dragons. That's why I don't hunt dragons. I'm a monster hunter. Dragons are their own thing. Fuck.
I concur. I am also not in the business of hunting dragons. That's why I offer the diplomatic approach for this particular endeavor. But we do need to protect or save Alendril's life, so desperate times, correct?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Also, I
Well,
have a-
maybe he's lost something that we could get back for him.
Yeah, perhaps we can do a favor for him, and he will then grant us his boon. That's the hope.
Well, we're burning fucking daylight.
Indeed.
No, that's my
Mark me
listing.
down as hired security for the ship.
I guess you could say I am a porter or a day laborer, because I am good at that. He lifts up, picks up a heavy box and lifts it on his shoulder, looks around. Hey.
Okay.
So what's the plan?
We have papers. Now we go get boat.
Papers, boat, dragon.
I understand that much, but are you guys, because I heard you guys mentioning that you wanted to go on as hired security for a boat?
No, you were asking for our covers. Vrenker was writing down all the. You said that was the last thing he needed.
Oh, yes, sorry. My brain turned off. Could you repeat that?
I marked me down
But
as
you-
hired security. Shog is going to be a porter.
Okay.
That's why we all sat in silence.
Yeah. I apologize. My brain just turned off for a second.
It's
there.
okay. It's okay.
I'm assuming your call then is the merchant.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the goods.
She's also got the business acumen and the noble hoity-toityness that
And
we
the
all
items
lack in spades.
you are trading are what?
Definitely not a noble. The Ethereum.
What if we were?
Alright.
What if we were going to like you were a merchant going to pick stuff up, so we have an empty hold. That's easier to explain.
Yeah, but then who are we picking stuff up from? They don't exist.
We're on an exploratory mission to make business partners. Because I don't know that we have enough Ethereum to fill a ship.
I mean, when you have that much Ethereum, you don't need to fill a ship. You guys can be like a small trading party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if
I
you had
didn't know
enough
if we had that.
Ethereum to fill a ship, that would be millions of gold.
That would
Yeah.
be everyone hunting in a heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you trade
In
this
fact,
stuff
that
for
much
silver.
Ethereum in one place might just end the universe, to be honest.
Yeah. Don't need that much.
Okay. We all agree, so it happens.
Cool. Alright. Apologies.
We do that.
So, you guys make your way down to G-Docks. And presuming you're looking for an existing merchant ship that is heading to Valdish. Loyalty.
We're trying to
Um,
hire one, yeah.
So, sorry, so are you trying to hire a small ship, or are you trying to book passage on a large ship?
I would go for passage on a large ship.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Then that is what we're doing.
Nice, direct.
Alright. So, a large merchant ship. Probably a
A sailing ship, the fastest one.
okay, a sailing ship's not going to be massive.
Well, just
I
whatever
mean, it's
kind of.
30 feet shorter.
Yeah, but it's not as wide.
It's exactly as wide.
Is it?
They're
Oh,
both 20 feet.
my brain's
Maybe
dumb
it's-
then.
Maybe the other one's taller.
I don't know.
Off was-
Galley bigger in my brain.
The crew is much larger.
Yeah, that. So, sorry. Sailing ship or galley?
Sailing ship, we do get there in one day. Galley will take just over a day for each trip. Preference party?
I mean, expediting is the best, is the dream. But I mean, if there's a hindrance to that, then we got to do what we got to do.
I think we should go faster.
Yeah, that we can hide as well within 30 people as we could within 80.
And Vrenker will offer to come along and essentially remain aboard the ship to help
Okay.
if that is required.
We would specifically try and find a ship that is leaving pretty soon after it's getting there, right?
Yeah, we're not going to be in Valdash for long.
Yeah, probably no more than 3 days. Hopefully just like 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hated that probably in there. Anyway.
Alrighty, so who is heading the search for an appropriate ship?
I'll help.
I will, because I used to be a Marine.
There you go.
Alrighty. So, Malthar, being as an ex-marine and knowing this, the best place to go would be the Harbour Master, who you can sort of, after a quick glance around, recognize the the appropriate quarters, and you'd essentially probably go to them and ask what the if you can have a look at the charters and see what ships are coming through, and what ships that you may be able to get passage on.
Pardon me. I have humans. What races control these docks?
I mean, there's just all sorts, but there's a significant amount of halflings.
Halflings. Okay.
Perfect.
Well done. Yeah, my favorite enemy races are humans, elves, and undead. So if there were any humans or elves, I might know some information about any ships that are in dock here for them. I have advantage. I have advantage on intelligence checks for information gathering on them. So
I don't know that's quite how it works.
no. In this case, that's how a favorite enemy works for this. For a ranger, you can use for survival checks and intelligence checks for for recalling the information on them. So he might be able to recall something about specific humans traveling if he knew about them. But like I said, it's very niche.
It wouldn't be like a specific person, but like
Yeah.
a merchant company.
Yeah. Like a company, he might know if they're a potential repute here.
Because I feel like that is generally meant to be for like.
It's mostly hostile stuff, but sometimes
like
he knows good things too.
and shit.
Yeah, it's sometimes hostile stuff, but it's also information gathering about them too.
Okay. Alrighty. So, Malthan, you are presumably leading this. So, what will you go up and just kind of knock on the door of the harbor master's cabin?
Hey, Captain. Hey. Just wondering if you'd be able to point a good old merchant's guide across the sea. Wondering if you had any ships that had better, well, more or less headway, ones with less damage to the skeleton of the ship.
As you're speaking there, the harbor master, an old man whose bottom jaw is just constantly chewing like a cow chewing on cud. Yes, well, we could figure something out. Let me get my. And he sort of rushes back in and pulls out just a ledger that's about as big as his torso, and opens it up. And with a big, you hear it flap open, and they start thumbing through it. Yeah. What's your destination?
Voldash.
Voldash, alright. Getting adventurous. You know, you've got the permits and everything for that?
Sir? Even
Yeah,
dream of
'cause
it?
if you don't, you're not allowed to step off the boat.
Very familiar. Sir,
Good.
Marines, paperwork's important. You don't have it, you're going straight in the drink.
Well, thank you for your service. Yeah, alright. There looks to be, yeah, we've got a small sailing ship happening there. Leaving, just traveling overnight, leaving about sunset today. Does that work for you? How many in your troop?
There are 5 of us.
All right. Well, there's 6 spaces on the ship. There's 6 spaces on the ship.
Perfect. How much,
That'll do.
Alrighty. And do you have any baggage, luggage, that sort of thing of significant size?
No, just X will carry on our persons.
Alrighty. And anything that you feel like I should let them know?
Anything you want to declare?
Yeah.
No. Don't think so.
Alrighty. Good stuff. If you'll just give me a moment. I will see if they are amenable to that.
Awesome.
And then he sort of goes in, and the door's still kind of open, and you see he has this, basically like this Rolodex of presumably sending stones that are just glued onto the paper.
Ah,
And he goes, puts his finger on one. We have 5 passengers looking for passage to Valdish. Assuming your ledger here is accurate, they'd be willing to pay the usual fee, and they have their appropriate papers. Please respond promptly. Thank you. And he takes his finger off and waits a little bit.
Oh,
And he puts it down again, puts his finger on it. Yep, you're good. Just come back in, like. And he sort of looks out the window at the sun. Couple hours? Sunset.
Thank you so much.
marvels at the how many sending stones are on this paper?
So they're all sort of like small, maybe like just a little bit bigger than a dime, and about twice as thick. And there are probably maybe about 20.
He's marveling at it. It's like, I mean, I'm familiar with sending stones. They're usually fairly expensive pieces of magical equipment.
Yeah,
How much
well,
does that device cost? I'm just curious.
well, actually, we were. It's a bit of a trade deal with us and Varenmore, you see. So they're a big trade company. They like to make things efficient, and for essentially free docking and loading and unloading surfaces, they provide us with this and a couple of other things.
Hmm. Thank you for the information.
Yeah, of course. Makes my job a lot easier. I don't have to wait for any birds or nothing. And by the way, I assumed as much. I know I didn't ask, but I assumed as much that you're going to be able to pay the fee.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And he sort of pulls out an abacus and sits it there, and then looks at a map. So that's what, like it's just 110 miles. So let me get more notes. I have a thing. Where is it?
Is it a silver per mile?
I have it somewhere. I'm trying to remember where I put it. I think it's actually in the travel thing.
So,
Notes, travel, ocean
Oh, yeah.
travel.
2 silver per. Oh, it's per day, not per mile.
Yeah.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, righty. So that is, well, it's a sailing ship. So that's 5 per day per person.
It's fine.
I pay with copper.
He swears under his breath.
So
Yeah, I
it's,
hand him a bag of 50 copper.
Oh god.
it's 1 day, and then we're going to pay him again if we come back. On the same
Yeah.
boat?
I keep about 200 copper on me at all times.
No,
That's
you just pay this guy, and then he will sort of transfer the funds and everything to the appropriate people. And that's your
Sure.
that fee. And then he'll hand you like basically a little ticket.
Great. A whole
Yeah.
bunch.
Should we
Yep.
actually? No, you bring up a point. Should we buy our return ticket now as well? Can we get it out of the way?
Yeah, you could.
So we don't have to figure out where to buy one in Knockgrow.
I mean, you can just pay a merchant directly, but they're
Yeah.
liable. They're liable to, forget, or basically, this is a way to make sure that you've reserved your spot and you actually have a seat, rather than having to fucking stand the whole way and being crammed into the hold.
I will buy my return ticket.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
let's reserve some seats.
And you give them another 50 copper.
Yup.
You see him.
He's like,
You
you
see-
could have given me 1 gold, you fuck.
You see a couple of
Oh.
tears stuck on his face, and he gives you the rattiest ticket he can.
Come on, I just gave him a bunch of change. He loves
I'm
that.
on the opposite end of the spectrum. I ripped through my purse and I'm like, oh, I don't have any gold either. And I give him a platinum coin.
Oh,
He gives
Can
you
I-
change in copper.
no!
Actually, yeah, no, he gives you the 100 copper coins,
Ah!
and then gives back another 8 gold.
Wait, what did he do to me?
He gave
He
you
gives
8
back all
gold.
the money
and-
that Billy gave him.
God,
Yeah, the 100 copper pieces that I just handed him
Why?
are now in your inventory.
why?
Oh, hey, I'd buy that back for you for a gold.
Sure.
Cool, I take the money back.
Well, this was silly.
In exercise and futility.
Look, I'm.
Good stretch of pay.
The spite is strong with you.
So, is there anything you guys want to do or get before you hop on the ship?
I'm good.
Before? No. I would like to
You
get
got any
going.
dragon's blood for sale?
Oh,
Yeah, just down at the super
Oh,
duper
cool,
mall.
cool.
Oh, settle
Single-
this.
Great.
Love.
No.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Dragon stock and Corey.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, y'all, as the time comes, there's maybe about 15 other people, 15 other passengers, and yeah, it's
30
Maybe.
fucking crew. Jesus.
Yeah.
and yeah, it's along on his way. And you go a boopity boopity boo. Do you guys want to do anything during the travel?
I would like
Uh,
Vrinka to tell me all about his culture.
is
Don't dump me.
Sure.
Is
You
Shao
want us to have returned?
Just in, just like in character, just so that Yoko is aware of how the customs are.
Okay. I mean, I'll give you the shorthand.
Yeah, sure.
Very straightforward, authoritarian people.
Yep.
About fair deals. No deception or lying. Extremely harsh punishment. But a strong sense of nationality and like cohesiveness.
Okay.
And of course, they view dragons as gods. With the main few, the prime dragon god is Rolcritus, a red dragon of basically law, order, and to perhaps less charitable eyes, tyranny.
Good to know.
But yes, feel free to ask me any other questions that you may have potentially asked Rinko. But yeah, eventually you guys find yourselves coming around closer to the Isles, and definitely some of the waves, some of the small ones, you swear they look like human hands. But you know, shit happen.
I wish to hide inside and not look at the water.
You can do that.
Does Yoko go into the galley?
Yeah.
Yeah, since you're taking shelter in there, Shaug is actually working with the chef to prep the Leviathan meat for squad,
Okay.
and he's probably trying to do like a risotto with some of the flour, and make try to make the Leviathan meat not look like Leviathan meat. Just surprise people with something like that.
It's a little bit hard to work with. It's a little
Yeah.
mushy, but
Yeah.
also it's how tough.
Yeah,
Like it's like mushy and stringy.
Yeah.
But you make it work.
so yeah, he has that for everybody as a it's like Billy collects trophies. Shaug likes to eat the kills to gain the power.
Zerg's
No,
that
no.
baby.
You have a many humanoids.
Yeah, well, he's not accountable. He doesn't do that to people. He doesn't do that to sentence, just to creatures, to beasts. Also, while he's in the galley and the chef isn't looking, carves using the what's that item called? The trying to find the name of it.
What does it do?
The token of the witness. Yeah, he used that to carve an eye, the eye of the witness, inside of the galley, and also when he's outside of the ship, he carves it into the prow so that it can see while the ship is
You
traveling.
just make a stealth and or sleight of hand check for each of those.
Doing
Yes.
fucking graffiti?
Yep. First one. Second one.
You start like carving shit and into the galley, and the cook immediately tells you off and tells you to leave. You don't get to perfect your Leviathan meat risotto.
Well, he doesn't
No.
do it. I mean, he doesn't do it when he's doing the risotto. He does that. This is like the afterwards.
Okay. Well, regardless, it kicks you out.
Yeah.
And you do go up, and you do manage to get it up on the prow, as you guys are able to see.
Cool.
You do get a little bit slapped by a couple of drowned souls, though.
He's used to that. They're little bitches, anyways.
All
All right. That's it for me.
Yeah, as you guys come into the Port City of Valdish, the mountains either side kind of loom over you, and you swear it's creepy as shit, my guy. I don't know how else to describe it. It's creepy as shit. You know, the trees are, any green that is among them is dark, and most of them are sort of almost leafless. There is a cloud. There's a cloud that's present over the top of the place, and when the sun rises, the light feels more grey than yellow and orange.
As a ranger, can I make like a nature or survival check to understand
Yeah.
why the world's like that? Okay. Oh nope.
Creepy
Not
as shit,
sure.
bro.
Yeah, it's just creepy as fuck. Just creepy. It's like this place is almost as bad as your homelands, Malthar.
Wow.
So, there's
And yeah, as the ship comes into dock, you guys eventually, step out, and step out onto the deck and you can see skeletal beasts of burden, horses, cows, that sort of thing, oxen, just pulling crates and carts and the like.
No, I was wrong. It's worse than your place, Malthar.
There are even a couple of what you, at first glance, are concerned are skeletal people, but turns out are skeletal apes that are helping load and unload ships. And in fact, they come rather close to you, although they do not seem to acknowledge you in any way as they move and begin unloading the ship that you were just upon.
Shao nudges the party, like looks between them. Hey, if I promise to give you a proper burial and make sure that your remains are not able to be desecrated and turned into one of these things by some crazy assholes like this, will you promise to do the same for me?
Quite easily.
Thank
if
you.
I die, leave me behind.
You don't care if some asshole turns you into an undead construct?
If I'm dead, I'm dead.
Okay. Well, if I die, please make sure nobody can turn me into their stupid puppet.
I agree with Billy. If I'm dead, I'm dead.
As you're talking, one of the skeletal apes is just kind of walking past and just kind of just eye sockets, just kind of staring as it moves.
I'll wave at it.
Shao like
See if it reacts.
looks at it forlornly, and then he his eyes droop down. He just looks down. He breaks eye contact.
Yeah, and you can see there are a fair few Dragonborn sort of milling about the place. Very few aren't Dragonborn, in fact, and the only ones that are sticking pretty close to the ships. And a fair few, most of them are keeping at least a 10-foot distance from any of the undead. But you have found yourself in Orbish.
Cool.
What time of day? Is this right at nightfall?
No, this is morning. You travelled over the night. This is probably sort of mid-morning, like 9 10.
Okay.
So was this like another long rest?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. I
alright,
regained all my hit dice.
If we have the daylight, we know where we're going. Franker told us where to find this thing, right?
Yes. To clarify, the Aetherium, big ol' Aetherium thing, is that what you're bringing? Is that the trade or?
That's these guys.
Sorry, what?
Yes.
Yes.
I heard that is a plan, and I was so confused.
It's the prize.
Yeah.
Yes, got it. Understood. My brain did not work. Apologies. But yes, you guys, definitely with a lot of interesting looks from a lot of the locals, and you will occasionally see like towers around the city with wyverns and people riding those wyverns perched upon them, and they are keeping a very close eye on you as you guys move on through. I just want to get a deception or performance check or stealth check from anyone who is trying to be not of notice.
Deception or
performance or what? Or stealth?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I pull out a helmet that none of you have ever seen, and
Yeah.
I put it on,
Who the fuck is that?
and I adjust my armor and hold my shield up and tuck my hair into my shit, and I am suddenly impossible to discern. I no longer have a physical form. Why does that helmet look vaguely dragonborn shaped? It has a muzzle, obviously. I mean, it's for a dragonborn.
Bought it here.
It's clearly
Eh.
special made dragonborn armor.
Good question.
Alrighty. That is certainly enough for y'all. With your stealth and the pass without trace that I believe Shaug has contributed.
Hey, pass without trace. Oh shit, that's a 31.
Disappear from
And
the
heavy
Ethereum.
armor, no less.
And yeah, as you guys make your way up the various terraces, you eventually come to the doors of a large, ominous-looking place. The doors are probably about 20 feet wide and twice as tall, and they're sort of two very ornate doors with sort of red and black markings all across them. And there are a couple of just full plate armor guards out front. You can see nothing of their skin or eyes or anything. It's just armor, as far as you can tell.
Cool.
They sort of caution as you approach, and they definitely ready themselves to draw their weapons.
Sorry, what?
Talk about
Oh, yeah. We come here offering trade.
Wordlessly, one of them sort of steps forward and holds out their hand.
Our papers that the Dragon gave us?
You
Yes,
do.
it is.
You hand them
Ah.
over. Look them,
I do.
they look them up and down. And once again, wordlessly fold it up, hand it back to you. And each of them, with surprising strength, grab onto the enormous doors and pry them open with this heavy creak of metal. As the doors open, one of them sort of turns and, in a deep rumbling voice, speaks out, "Karaxor." You guys are free to enter as you see the dark stone halls before you.
I want to do some kind of check to figure out if these armored individuals are alive or not.
You can make an insight or arcana check.
We'll do Arcana. 3.
They're probably somewhere between.
Okay.
So probably undead. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they seem to have some level of intelligence, given that they did
Of
check your
course. Yeah. So, like,
Whether they're still people that are just undead as well, you don't know. But they're definite, like that would be more of like an insight, but they are definitely undead of some sort.
yeah, I get the sense that
Intelligence.
they're people that have been enhanced with undead power.
Quite possibly.
Okay, cool. Let's go in.
Alrighty. Yeah, as you guys enter, you are actually flanked by those two guards as they close the door behind you, and two others step out of two adjoining corridors and begin marching next to you.
Oh.
And you are not necessarily roughly, but definitely sharply escorted into, after probably a couple of minutes of walking down dark black stone corridors, eventually into a room that seems, though it is dark and a bit dreary, it is ornate. There are various sort of artifacts, some encrusted with gold and gems, some just simple pieces of pottery with symbols you don't recognize on them. And as you enter, there's definitely a smell of old, dry decay. And you see in a chair just what for a moment looks to be just a piece of dark cloth, but as it turns, you see that it is a mostly skeletal dragonborn with purple pinpricks for eyes.
I wonder if this one is alive.
Ah, clearly it's alive. Look at the purple pinpricks. It's the light of his life.
Press
They-
X to doubt.
And as their eyes pass over you, you cannot help but feel a shiver down your spine. And
Ew.
one of the guards closes the door behind you, and as they stand up, even hunched, they're about 6 feet tall. As their bony claws sort of clack against the stone floor, turning towards you guys. Music up. Let's go for this one.
I mean, they're the same height as Shaug, so Shaug's just like, yeah, like as they approach. Oh, okay.
I think we've been had, boys.
And this individual opens their mouth, and though there is no tongue, they still speak. I understand you've come with something of considerable interest. As they reach onto their desk and pull on some stiff leather gloves.
Yeah, how big was the shard that we're bringing? I forget.
Sizable.
Yeah, so I guess Shaug would be. I think Shaug would be the one carrying it for you, since he's the porter, as it were.
Sure.
So he's probably, and we would probably have it inside of a little chest, so it's nice and fancy looking. He would walk forward with it as guide if you guide him to.
Yeah. Do you produce the item, the Ethereum, or do you produce it like in a box, or how do you present it, if at all?
I would. He would look to everyone else and say, you know, he's like making his face like, bring forward to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Shaug's got a it's not a super fancy box, but it's a professional looking box to carry this in. And it's got nice. It's inside is basically got, you know, packing material to protect the Ethereum ball, and he breathes in, puts it down, and opens the lid so that the Dragonborn entity can see within.
They sort of pry the box open, and in strange motions that seem somehow both fluid and robotic at the same time pry the sort of just gently push the cloth off and reach in to pick up the considerably sized Ethereum crystal and begin to inspect it quite carefully. And every other time that you blink, they are looking at you instead of the crystal. And then look back at the crystal. Is there anything that you guys want to be doing in this time?
Just sort of selling the pitch like, we wish to enter your fine city and find a buyer for this.
I'll put an image for you, by the way.
Oh my god, I have that image. It's on my computer.
Good one.
You want to know something? I have that image too.
Yeah,
This
we
is
all
cool,
do.
isn't it?
It's the best Dragonborn undead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do as well.
Amazing.
One. And as he sort of goes over it, take a seat, and sort of gestures to several chairs, which immediately all sort of turn and face you guys each.
Oh, good.
He moves around and sits on the other side of his desk.
Shao quietly, wordlessly goes to his seat and sits down politely.
Mm-hmm.
As he sort of gently places it back in the box and places it on the desk, sort of closer to him than you, most certainly. And would you be so kind as to tell us where you found this?
Ooh. We've traveled a long way from Dronic and have been deep down in their minds.
I've not seen so much crystal before. It's unusual. It's just sort of like peering into you, and you can feel where he's looking. It is like just like a patch of freezing cold needles on your body. And I'm gonna say make a deception check for me.
Yeah.
Because while that is technically the truth, you're not telling him where it came from.
Not the whole truth, yeah.
It's truth
there-
by lying
if
by
it's-
omission.
If this is part of the like selling the pitch,
Yeah.
pretending to be who we are the rest of us assisting me
Uh,
by standing by like
I want to
Shoggy
assist-
holding the thing?
How you are doing that? Like whether you contribute something to the conversation, whether you mention how you got it, or how you want him to think you got it.
I'm less going for the specific lie and more the lie of who we are, like our intention.
Okay.
Regardless of whether or not he believes where this thing comes from, the greater goal is for them to not like freak out at us.
Curious. Why would you give up such a thing? You and Yoko, he makes eye contact with you for the first time, and you feel like almost instinctually like your eyes are trying to recede back into your head. You are of arcane talent. Surely you know the value of such a thing.
It is precisely because of the value that we are selling it. I have a great many deal of other prospects, and I lack the funding for them. So, by regretfully parting with this, I may continue with the other projects.
Perhaps if you have significant talent, you might wish to work with us in our endeavors. We have many resources.
Oh, but
And
with the whole
this
Nokran government.
perhaps eventually, what exactly are your talents?
I consider myself more of an alchemist than an arcane practitioner, but I can blend the two. I can do both.
You wouldn't happen to have heard of a young elven alchemist by the name of Alendril, have you?
Hmm.
We have business with him.
No, can't say I have.
Absolutely make a deception check.
Where's the enhanceability, Maltharn?
If only. Rangers get enhanceability?
I don't
No.
know, maybe. I give you my once per session.
It is Yoko, you are caught in his terrifying gaze,
Yeah.
and you kind of start to freeze up, and before you realize it, his claw, thankfully within a glove, is clamped around your wrist. Deception. Not talented.
Mm.
Gulp.
Yeah, it's too necessary for this.
Given your unique composition of companion, I would say it's rather likely that you have met this individual. All that remains is to ask whether you are still in contact. Understand we have no quarrel with you, unless you have one with us.
We don't. And this elven fellow you want, he's not here.
Where is he? His talents are of significant interest to us.
To say you observe them.
Yes, we heard he had become ill as of late, and we would like to help.
I'm sure you'd be able to convince him to come here and pay it if provide for
I think you would make good messengers for such a transaction.
I think that he would trust our word the most. obviously within good reason. Need to, as they say, start off on a bang.
Now, as compensation for your initial deception, this is ours. And he closes the chest and put on the ground next to him. Now you are still indebted to us, but if you were to bring us Alendril and the traitor, we may yet be allied. There is much we could teach you about Arcana.
I'm gonna try to pull out of his grasp.
Make an athletics check or acrobatics check.
These guys took our shit, are claiming we're indebted to them, and are now gonna teach us some stuff? The
Look,
fuck?
we knew they weren't good.
Hmm.
We knew
Oh,
this
right. I
coming
thought that's why we were going to the dragon instead of the priests, but they're priests, so.
there are priests in the way of the dragon. We had to get through these guys, and we have failed.
You are unable to wrestle yourself from his grip.
Yeah, I tug helplessly.
Going to let the miss go. Speak civil.
The eyes, they do not move towards you. They are just immediately upon you. And let's go.
Step back a fair way, rub my wrist.
You bump into one of the armored individuals.
I'll find Malthan and stand behind him.
Now, obviously, since we are going off a business contract already, with such a curious disease and manifesting itself, with no accusatory fingers, but where they have originally listed from, there's a good curiosity that would need investigated first. Obviously, you've had a heavy investment in our curiosities in achieving.
Yes.
And obviously, not many would be very enlightened in the prospect of indentured servitude. But of course, I'm sure the loss of such a talent, as well as others that are not eager to return to such grasps, especially after their prior banishment. I feel like we could come to a civil agreement as we work things out here. Obviously, there will be some magnitude of working together and repaying to appropriate level, but it would not be within our permissed power to hand over such a fine young noble. But if we could come to a rational state of where we get what we need for medicine, speak with Alendril directly in a much more respectable manner.
You make a persuasion check. Is anyone helping in any way?
Nope.
Yeah, Shag would chime in. It's like, His health has decreased dramatically. We are in a rush to get here. If we went back to collect him, he would not make it back in time. We need the cure now.
Sure. Advantage. A fair assessment. You may go and cure him. But we have conditions.
Name them so that we may barter of it before a...
You will. If this young man does not come to us, bring him to us, or inform us of his advancements. And you will arrange for the traitor to make his way to us, or to be vulnerable so that we may enact justice.
Now, understand that obviously the traitor is slighted. Oh, not
He has
disrespect.
spoken, but he's
No.
oath.
Not disrespecting your ways, but pointing out the sensible business transaction. Obviously, you all have great deals of time to be able to enact this, even ones that you might be able to be more creative.
Not
Yes.
untrue.
Inga is, well, honestly, as far as I've seen, me being forward-facing, imperative the young lord's fine research and his great advancements. Removing him now would be not only a decimation to his work, maybe him into a well of depression, distracting him from what immaculate goal. But
The living and their emotions frustrate us.
understand that very much so. But this is why I give you the opportunity. Obviously, other associates have priorities, but you let this play out and be able to still sway the Lord in good fashion. And as promised for trying to keep this part, I assume offering my blood to be able to keep this promise would be reasonable payment, as I'm the one who brokered it with my tongue. Being able to deliver him when the goal is complete.
I see you have some wisdom. And he holds out his hand.
Swear to let him finish his projects with Rinka at side.
Which project? Who is to say he shall not indefinitely delay or pursue new ones?
And I guess a
Hi.
more correct and honest one, though. Stabilizing his health indefinitely, and not through on death.
A month.
And this would get us the cure that well, assuming your well-scholared associates have been able to discern we need.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
Reach my hand out and shake hands in agreement.
Lightning fast, he reaches under, grabs your forearm, pulls you forward a couple of inches, and flicks the glove off of his other hand, grabs onto the underside of your wrist, and you feel a searing, freezing pain
Oh, great.
as the skeletal claw marks itself on your forearm.
Oh god, that's not pleasant.
And then he draws his middle finger claw across the back of your forearm and draws some blood, and then produces a vial and lets it drip off the claw into it before stopping it. And nonchalantly throwing a piece of cloth at you.
Fuck off.
I trust that you understand the gravity of your situation.
Quite heavily.
And then he reaches down, opens a drawer, and pulls out a medium-sized bottle of roiling red liquid and slides it across the table. We have already synthesized the cure. Do be careful.
Step forward. Delicately take. Store it safely.
As you sort of pick it up, you can still feel the cold from him touching it. To the point where your probably rather sweaty fingers kind of grip to it like your tongue onto a cold lamppost.
Oh boy.
Oh.
You may leave, but the Black Fang is always watching.
Noted.
Though, if you have other requests, we may be able to accommodate.
I've come for. Kind of look to the rest of the group.
I maintain complete silence. Nobody needs my -1 charisma ass opening my mouth. I'm giving nothing.
Perfect.
Dog is also quiet because he's this is not his arena. He's like he's looking at him with the face. The eyes are like, very dead eyes.
Take my associate's silence as respectfully business concluded.
He just sort of gives a nod, and the door, surprising and quickly, opens behind you guys, cracking into the stone that it tweaks off. You may leave,
Yeah. Let's give the successful news.
And for minutes after you leave the room, escorted by the two guards, you can still feel his eyes boring into you, like looking at the sun for too long and having it burned into your retinas. And you eventually step out into light of day, though the sun on your skin does not feel as warm as it once did.
I'm sorry, Malthon.
It's not your fault, miss. Things had to be.
I mean, hey, you did it without combat.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
If I could lie more convincingly, perhaps we could have gotten through.
It's not your fault. Shot in the dark. They've been watching us for a while.
Yeah, this is the trap that we were warned about.
Let's go get
Apologies
sticks back
for
in this
that.
fight.
That fuckery there. I hope it was
Wah.
satisfyingly frustrating.
That was very good, but in character. Wah.
Yeah. Cool.
In character, you went full friend dresser.
Also, I don't know if anyone wants to make any checks to reveal any information about any of that, but feel free to ask me. But you guys are able to return
I'd like-
the ship. Yeah.
I'd like to inspect the fucking Malthon's arm and figure out what that is.
So
It's
Heard
super
yeah,
dark.
Dispel
absolutely.
magic.
Make an Arcana check.
I'm going to Brutal Shift that. Let's try again.
Alright.
God. Never mind.
I mean, it's definitely a curse.
Oh yeah.
Not only is there the skeletal hand mark and the slice, there appears to be a necromantic rune of some kind that is burned into where the palm would be. And it's freeze burned, not hot burned. But you imagine it has something to do with, tracking him down, or potentially even just straight up killing him if he doesn't do what they ask.
No shit. Glad we got the return tickets at least.
So yeah, you guys can merrily skip your way back to the ship, I'm sure. Is there anything you guys would like to do in Baldish? Do you want to see if you can purchase anything that would not be purchasable elsewhere, or what exactly would you like to do, if anything, before quickly returning?
No, I
To the
don't want
main
nothing to do with this place.
Yeah, this place.
Well,
place
don't we
is a
have
terrible
like a
place.
couple days to kill?
Nope.
The ship was only here for, like, you have a couple of hours to kill.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 2 or 3 days.
Could be.
Oh,
Yeah. You managed to get a ship that was there for essentially just one day. So it got here this morning and it will be leaving this evening. That's probably about midday.
Yeah. Shouting is like, if there's a tavern where we can avoid getting close to any of the undead creations and maybe find a place to relax and drink heavily and eat some food, that's what I would like to do before we get the fuck off this island. Because this sucks, right? This sucks.
Yeah.
Also, what is it with you getting cursed, Malthorn? Are you just like an attractor for all the fucking curses? Because what the hell?
Curse magnet.
Uh, he's like like curses just are attracted to him. It's like he's the
He's your
curse.
guy, sin eater.
I'm not about to put any of your lives on that bet. I've been able to improve a lot of my life immensely because of sticks.
Well, and we get some more good ingredients. I'm making you your favorite food for the next few weeks. Just saying, crazy asshole. And he punches Malthorn right in the shoulder as hard as he can.
Oh, fuck. Ugh.
Alrighty. Big bruise, probably. But yeah, unless you guys want to do anything else, you can have a meal of probably dried fish.
Sure.
And yeah, and probably pretty strong liquor.
Well aged.
Strong, flavorless liquor. It is
Just fucking
just,
ethanol,
it's
huh?
basically just like slightly diluted ethanol.
Oof.
And you guys can make your way back onto the ship, and as night falls, you see the isles passing you by. Damn, I had a whole thing planned, and you guys, you survived. You didn't. Yeah, good
We
job.
still lost though.
Oh yeah, but you still got, like, you're not dead.
Look,
Sure.
they took my big shiny gem, but we're alive.
Yeah.
During the boat ride over, I'd like Renka's advice on what the fuck has happened to Malthorn's arm.
Yeah, he will inspect. Yeah, let me change stuff back over to slightly less spooky unpleasantness.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Malthorn. Some inspection. Why don't you make an Arcana check with advantage, Yoko? With some help from Rico there.
Sorry, what kind of check was it?
Arcana with advantage. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's way better.
Yeah. Alright, so with Vrenko's insight, you're able to discover that this mark essentially means that with the help of the blood, and with this mark, he will automatically fail any saving throws against spells cast by the creepy undead guy.
Uh-huh.
Including shit like scrying and that.
Oh yeah, okay. Sure.
Well, I'm not very well versed on things, but aren't there like spells that can be cast that would still protect you, so you wouldn't have to worry about make
can...
resisting abilities that would be tracking you?
No, I can remove this. I'm just not sure if we should.
Oh, because then he would know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then we'd really be in
In the pits.
I think we would be actively hunted at that point.
I guess we'll have to. What we'll probably have to do is Malthorn. You'll need to like rest in places where he can't track his targets as easily.
Sadly, I don't think that's going to be. Said I. dismiss it up. First, we need to get sticks up. I can worry about me.
I'm sure that there's probably other magical artifacts that could possibly help us. And also, you know what? I have this Watcher God or whatever this entity is. Maybe it has a way of helping us with observations from other beings. Maybe it can help us. I don't know. He kind of like holds the icon of the Watcher up, and he's like Silent Bob from Jane Silent Bob with the little cigarette force. He's like kind of making his hand wiggle at it and looking at it curiously.
Yeah, I mean, there's the feeling of being watched for sure, but it's not like a bad or good feeling. It's just
Yeah,
neutral. You are being
yeah,
observed.
neutral observe. Yeah, he's like, maybe I can win its favor, and it'll help us with protecting you from being observed. I don't know. It's curious. It's worth a shot, right? We got nothing to lose.
Pretty much.
So you want to help me join the cult of observing other things? It's just easy. We just scratch this eye symbol on things so we can look around. He tosses the marker that lets you do that. Yeah, just when you're out and about, if you do that occasionally, just don't let people catch it or try to put it where you
So
can
are
place
you
it.
giving him the
Yeah,
mark of the Watcher?
I let him see it, so it's like, yeah, if you when
Got
you
it.
go out, yeah,
Hmm.
just I'll let it to you. Just give it back to me too, so we can both use it. If you
As a note, it also does let you know when you are being perceived by another creature.
ooh, if I do know that, then you should take this, boss. So if you know that if he's tracking you, you know that you can get away from us. This will help you, and you can also help make the Watcher happy by making
Just as a note, it does
carvings.
include when people are just straight up looking at you.
Yeah, Malthorn. I think
Yeah.
this will help you.
Like it
This will help.
includes straying, but it's also like if someone's looking at you, it will also be, active. It's just,
It's the little
yeah,
scry. It's the little sneaking symbol from Skyrim.
yeah, basically.
Malthorn, I think this will help you because you just realized what it is. Take this. It'll help you see. I guess you have to tune into it. But yeah, after you spend some time with that, you'll notice something about when people are looking at you. But also, to make the thing happy that controls that item, carve the eye that's on it onto surfaces that are looking out on things, just everywhere. It makes it happy. Trust me, you'll appreciate it, and it'll also help you with the curse.
But try then.
Yeah, it promise I think it'll be a benefit for everybody because I think it'll help you with countering this entity, the undead guy or whatever the fuck he is, from looking at all of us when it's really bad.
I would say Yorkor, you can pretty quickly, with the help of Rinker, determine that, yeah, Karaksur is a straight up lich.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you, Sean.
yeah. And once we get this curse thing sorted out, I would like to add him back, but for now, you keep it safe, okay?
Trust me, I'll keep it safe, and when I feel like I won't need it anymore, I'll be sure to do it back. Or
I
whenever you
appreciate
need
that.
it, of course.
Oh no, right now it's best in your hands. And I completely forgot about it. It's good for that, and when people are watching it, that's actually really handy.
Yeah, that's actually its main function.
Yeah, I totally forgot about
Yeah.
that. I just remembered about the carving eyes to make the thing happy.
But yeah. Um, yeah, you guys can return to Alendril and administer the treatment. Um,
Hooray.
and it does within an hour or two. Um, though initially you're quite concerned as he does undergo a couple of convulsions and vomit up a little bit of blood. But shortly
God.
afterwards, he does return to consciousness and motility and does sort of sit up. And though his head is swimming and his sight is blurred and his gait is wobbly, he is conscious and motile.
That is
And,
arrived.
He wakes. Oh, I had the worst dream. I was. Oh shit. Hi.
Got everything there?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Good news is you're alive, but we have so much bad news.
Eat that bed.
Can
It's
I have
pretty
a cup
bad.
of tea before we do the bad news?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He sort of goes downstairs and sets up a cup of tea and everything. And yeah, sits before you, and presumably you do you tell. Is there anything you don't tell him? Is probably the easier question.
I don't think so.
Yeah, pretty blunt.
Oh, well, that's deeply concerning. Um,
So we've got a choice now. We can either go in and do whatever evil things they want us to do, or we can run.
You have enough going on.
um, well, on the latter note, uh, I apologize. I've not been entirely forthright with um everything I've been doing. It's all for good, but um
Why
to
are you
be
so wanted by the Nocrans?
um I guess I'm good at alchemy.
You are?
But
Is that
also I discovered some time ago that well I'm not entirely sure of exactly how it works, but it seems that though I am not of perfect physicality, um, as I understand it, my body, in its uh, unfortunate condition, has become quite good at fighting off diseases, and well, and he sort of reaches down and pulls up the leg of one of his pants, and you see that in his thigh is some kind of like metal implant with several tubes coming out of it.
Oh.
And um, I've been using myself to synthesize several cures to diseases that previously did not have any. Um,
Well, you can add
and
another.
in doing so, I I have discovered that mist, uh, with its assistance, I've been able to greatly expedite that process, and I I believe that if we could find enough of it, I could cure anything. Your condition, Malthan, the curse, Vrinkers, binding, anything.
okay. Then that means we need to find a whole bunch of this stuff before the Black Fang can catch up to us.
That would be ideal. Um,
Alright, is that
Okay.
what we're doing?
I believe I believe it has some connection to Osra. Their archives would be the best place to begin looking, but um, I expect that we may want to make some uh, allies who would be able to keep the Black Fang off our backs if needed.
Well,
I
if we need to go to the Osser Sands, you happen. Oh,
I believe
oh, I thought that was me this time. It wasn't me disconnecting. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Shao was like, well, if you need to go to the Osser Sands in Ostra, you happen to have a very well traveled and well connected individual to that location. So I'm definitely eager and happy to help you with that. However, the journey to that location is difficult and fraught with peril.
I understand that, and uh, as unscrupulous as they may be, I understand that there is a group in Luneshai known as the Black Lotus, who has ample resources, and though I'm a little hesitant to work with them, I believe they would be willing to fund our trip. And ask few questions.
So going to get one dark organization to fight the other.
Fire with fire.
Yeah, okay. What would they want from us?
um, well, to my understanding, they're a crime syndicate. Um,
I mean, if it's just smuggling, I have no problem
yeah,
with smuggling.
smuggling and drugs and that sort of thing. Um, thievery and the like. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, technically, because I was breaking the laws of up north, I was engaging in thievery because I was taking property from slaveholders because slaves are property. But yeah, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, in the case of smuggling and minor thievery,
I
I
wouldn't
just,
call it minor, but yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all minor to my opinion. Depending, as long as people's lives aren't being taken.
Um, we'll get to that.
Hopefully
But
not.
thank you, everyone, for I really appreciate it. I don't think many people would have gone as far as you did. Um, is there anything I can do for you?
Just make sure you succeed. Fucking wobbly git.
I'll try.
Okay, first of all, go to Malthon and cast Remove Curse.
All right. Why don't you make me a spellcasting ability check?
Very well.
This is about to get
Oh.
really painful.
Oh wait.
15.
Yeah. As you're about to cast it, wait. I guess Shao would be able to realize that she's about to cast Remove Curse.
You can see that she's moving over towards him.
I
with
know, but he's not very.
magic
He
in it.
doesn't know about. He knows, but he knows magic
It's
as a
up to
ranger.
Yoko whether she would inform you as to exactly
Yeah.
what she's doing.
Yeah. I
Right.
guess. Do you just go up to him and just start casting it, or do you start saying, "Hey, I'm gonna remove that"?
I would be like, wouldn't say anything, but I'm like, getting the positioning his arms so I can see the mark, and like, casting the spell isn't instant either. It's like a second or two.
Okay. Yeah. Before you start expending it, Shao goes like, "Wait! Hold on that spell. Don't remove the curse yet."
What's wrong?
And he looks to Malthar. It's like, we think that if we remove the curse, one, the dragonborn creature, undead guy, whatever he is, he'll know, and that will cause all kinds of problems for us with whatever else other agents they may send afterwards. Um, and I gave him a talisman that allows him to know when he's being observed or scried upon. So what he can do is, if he knows that that's happening, he can move away from giving away a position of Alendril and Vrenner to the creature that cursed him, and then eventually we can remove the curse. But I think it's actually a benefit to they can think that we're still in league with him, so that we have less of those agents against us.
Also, being
Okay,
so close
we've-
here, doing it.
With yes, precisely that. We are but a day away. Once we don't arrive in Voldash the next day, they're going to know something's up.
We have.
Well-
You have a month if you keep the curse on.
Why would it take us a month to go back?
Not good. Have to.
Yeah, we can milk the timer before we have to really worry about consequences for not delivering upon the agreement.
It's
I
time.
mean, we sincerely appreciate that you were ready to use powerful magic to remove the curse, but I feel like subterfuge is the word is more valuable at this particular moment.
Alright. Well, let me know when you want it gone.
Definitely will.
Oh yes, no, and we sincerely appreciate all your arcane knowledge and prowess. You've been a boon to to all of our endeavors.
Very
Yes,
sorry for pushing you into.
Yes.
Fine. Is there um for this grand quest that we are about to undertake, is there some sort of magic that I should learn?
I
I mean,
don't know exactly what you're looking for, but I could certainly try and help.
what kind of magic do you specialize in at the moment? I mean, I noticed you have the remove curse spell, but sometimes I don't get to really observe the magic that you do, so I'm not sure what you have at your fingertips as the best way I can say it. But
I don't really specialize in anything particular.
so I mean, as far as like defensive magic, what do you have for that? What do you have to help get yourself out of dangerous situations or protect yourself if somebody strikes true with a hit?
Um, I would rely on you lot.
Yeah, but sometimes we won't be there because there's just too much stuff going on, or somebody gets lucky and gets past us. That's gonna happen. As bad as we don't want it to, it's gonna happen. That's just the nature of chaos and combat.
Well, I'll try to stay with you.
I'm asking, what do you have as a contingency to protect your life? You need something, please.
Well, I suppose we'll have to work on that.
Yeah, we'll have to work on that. I'm just saying,
Yeah, well,
what do
well, there
you
you go
currently
then.
use now?
Nothing.
Okay,
Don't have
So,
a way
yeah.
to protect myself, so I guess I should go and get something that does that.
yeah, I'd say that should be a priority right away. That should be your first priority first. Just defend yourself, and I mean, I will definitely make sure to be your vanguard or your defensive, since our vanguard is Billy and Malthorn. Anyways, they're the ones that go mixed in the fray. I've been in most cases been running up to the front because we needed somebody else to help hold the line. But I actually operate better as a bodyguard. So I will focus on being a backline defense for you while you're preparing better defensive protections for yourself. Okay?
Alright.
But yes, we'll definitely see about acquiring you more spells. You can copy spells into your book, right? You're a wizard.
Yes, I just need the scrolls for it.
Okay. Maybe we can acquire a scroll that has defensive magic that you can add to your spell, your repertoire.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Uh, I I feel more confident that we can protect everybody.
And hey, who knows? If we get lucky, I'll die. Don't have to worry about any of it after that.
Yeah, and also I won't get killed again, because I've been brought to near death more times than I'd like to admit, and it's wearisome.
It's part of the course.
How many times have you almost died?
More than you care to think, Les. That's too
We'll
many
add-
strikes to the head here.
Fucking dwarves, man. You and your fucking clan from the crazy north areas fucking suck. He just starts growling and he starts growling and Orcish just growling like a rage rock just start growling in tongues.
I think
Yeah.
you'd be complimented by the feminine form.
Alright, while we're in transit, like go look for a scroll.
All right. What are you looking for?
I forget what it's called. It's the one that you made.
Mage armor?
Uh,
There's a few. What does it do?
like damage shield when taking damage.
Oh, okay, flash ward.
Yeah, that thing.
Flash warden.
Let
Cue,
me
cue.
open my thing. I accidentally closed the fucking game. Let me. There we go. Spielsch. Where are we? Belief. It is. Where to put it?
It is pretty late.
Yeah, I'm thinking this will probably be the end.
Cool.
Well, since
So it-
Nate's not here to ask, I have to ask.
Yes.
Did we level up?
Yes. Did we level up?
Yes.
Oh!
Sweet.
So flash ward is a second level abjuration. I can copper paste to you. And if you'd like to, you can just learn it and level it up instead.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
All right. I'll message it to you.
And it only took me putting my life on the line for a month.
Guys, I can learn feign death and pull a possum move.
I might need to make use of that.
Just pretend I'm dead.
He's only mostly dead. I feel pretty.
I swear I feel fine. Whack.
Got better.
Oh, we did it. We survived the Lich puzzle.
Sure did.
We actually made a
We did
fucking
not.
deal with a Lich.
Yeah, you did.
Doesn't
Congrats.
feel good.
No, but at least it's
No.
just me on the list and not anyone else.
Yeah. No, if you guys hadn't rolled as high, he would have asked for all of your blood.
Yeah. It's one time I can honestly say, thank fuck I am not an ugly bastard anymore. Who would have thought that the fucking literal nobody farm man is gonna be the one who makes a deal with a lich and gets the party out of deep shit right there? Oh.
But yeah, y'all is level 8?
Eight.
Yeah, 8.
Yep, 8.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Trying to remember if I took a feat or if I took a ASI.
Cool. Good spell.
I am glad you like the spell.
Yeah.
No, actually, I plan to take ASI for this so I can get 18 dexterity.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I've got actions.
What?
Multi-class.
You're a ranger.
I am.
What, you don't want to continue being a shit fighter?
Hey, Maltharn's learning and fucking tooling up for what he needs in the world.
Yeah.
Like many of those before him, he has learned.
ASI. Okay.
Kick ass.
But yeah,
Chew
I
bubblegum.
hope we all had your section.
Yeah.
Let's get feet. Let's get an additional foot.
One more foot.
3 foots.
3 feet. One for your mouth, 2 for your ass.
Please no.
I don't know. I forget. I was wrong. Rangers do get enhanced ability.
There you go. Oh.
Yeah. Apologies
Chef.
for the fucking blue balls thing with the dragon shit. Some people have fucking pseudo dragon familiars.
Oh no, that makes sense. That well, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm 100% for just a fat no, fucking flat out. I'm like, it's a 50-50 shot half the time. So it's like, yeah, you know, maybe.
Yeah.
I expected to get like fuck all in shit for that ping. I was not expecting to at least
Yeah.
get like, there's a chance.
Yeah. So you're telling me there's a chance?
I bet. What? Sir, that's gonna take like 30 days to explore all of those fucking like square miles. What the fuck is wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I like those odds. He's literally dead. He's choking to death right now. What the fuck? Malthorn doing some selfless shit right now.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe you can mitosis yourself with the mist and then leave a fucking cursed dead body.
Oh, stick my arm in the mist and just have it fall off.
Yeah. Or like it just jumps off your body and becomes its own creature.
Oh god, it's gonna Evil Dead me.
I mean, there's a 50-50 chance of that.
I think the Lich would be more amused.
I'm going to take skilled and I'm going to become proficient in deception and persuasion so somebody can do the talking.
Fair enough.